All
right, shalom.
Shalom.
Glory, all praise and honor and glory to
Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem, Kakwadash.
Double honors to the apostles, double honors to the elders, and great millstone, and salutations to you, Wakim, that are teaching the truth and sincerity across the four corners of the earth. With the GMS Atlanta camp, coming at you with another edifying lesson through the spirit of Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai. And we just want to dive into this article going into about how the bankers they gained wealth off of our slavery. But in this particular article, it reads, the slavers of Wall Street, investment banks, and transatlantic slave trade.
You want me to read it for you, bro?
Yeah.
All right, so like the captain said, the title of this article is The Slavers of Wall Street, Investment Banks, and Transatlantic Slave Trade. This is from africaresource.com. All right, it reads, several global financial institutions started off as slave profiteering firms before growing into multinational behemoths of today. Many acknowledge their links to slavery, others have apologized for and have set up programs to make amends.
Shit, that's not enough, man. The Lord gonna get y'all for that. But all these companies that seem like they innocent and that they came from humble beginnings, that's a lie. Go ahead up.
Okay.
That's right.
The Rat Pack list of those institutions that got rich off slaving and trading the back and skin of Ethiopian peoples include.
Well, we're not Ethiopians, they're going off on that. But it's really talking about Jake, you so-called Negroes, the so-called West Indians and Haitians. They came from the shores of West Africa and certain parts of Europe.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
Okay. J.P. Morgan, the global international financial behemoth,
which was a lieutenant for the Rothschilds. He was considered a rich, wealthy man in I think the early 1900s.
J.P. Morgan. I can't remember. It was a while ago though.
Yeah.
You said early 1900s.
Matter of fact, it was around the slave time.
I'll look it up.
Yeah, he was considered a very rich man in America.
Yeah,
but,
he was.
But really, he was just the front man for the Rothschilds. The real wealthy, rich men that rules the world.
I'm just going to it real quick. This is J.P. Morgan from Wikipedia.org. It says John Piermont Morgan Sr. says he was born April 17, 1837, and he died March 31st, 1913. He was an American financier and banker who dominated corporate finance and industrial consolidation in the United States of America in the late 19th and early 20th century. In 1892, Morgan arranged the merger of Edison General Electric and Thomas Houston Electric Company to form GE. He also played prominent roles in the formation of the United States Steel Corporation, in International Harvester, and AT&T.
So he was considered a wealthy man at that time.
And if I could say too, these are all, like this article that the captain's going into, these are all multinational corporations that still exist to this day. They're big conglomerate corporations that, like I said, exist to this day. And this marks a high point in time, so to speak, as well, as far as getting to the fractional banking system, in which they would use a lot of debt, corporate debt, corporate stocks and bonds, things of that nature, in order to harvest the resources of a mass amount of people, in which a few people would profit from it, and then they would use those resources and that money that they got not only through slavery, also through slavery as well, is built on the back of slavery, but they would use that money to buy other companies, and make their corporations bigger.
So they can knock out the competition.
Mm-hmm.
Really, they're creating a smaller circle. They just creating smaller minions for their purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
J.P. Morgan, the global international financial behemoth, It is one of the elite investment banks of Wall Street, United States, and the City of London in Britain. JP Morgan is a $1 trillion bank and remains one of the main pillars of the globalized financial and monetary system. In 2005, JP Morgan apologized for the activities of two of its predecessors in Louisiana, Citizens Bank and Canal Bank, who had been involved in profiteering programs. For instance, mortgage of slaves to slave owners. It recently set up a $5 million scholarship fund for the black students studying in Louisiana.
Yeah,
That's a slap in the face, man.
slap in
Pretty
the
much slap in
face.
the face, man.
$5 million. This is a $1 trillion company, and they give up $5 million,
They gave
man.
5 cents. And then the money ain't really the issue. It's just the fact that like he's perpetually mocking us throughout history, man.
Mm-hmm.
He's mocking us each and every day, man, because the power is in their hand. What, Micah chapter 2 verse 1? So they have the power in their hand. The earth is given into the hands of the wicked.
I got something right quick.
Go ahead.
This is Wisdom of Solomon 5, verse 1. Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him and made no account of his labors. that's these bankers, man, that make no account of our labor. All right, you got a lot of other banks that are profiting off of slavery, you know, and they're just throwing what $5 million. That's what it said.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's a slap in the face. But Jay could take it. You know what I'm saying? Jay could do. Oh well, you know, all right. Well, you know,
It's better than nothing.
it's better than nothing. But you know,
Don't even know the history.
yeah, don't even know the history of it. That I believe the camp. I believe where we camp at that bank was formed off slavery, man. SunTrust.
SunTrust, yeah.
Yeah, SunTrust. That's
All
another
of these
one.
banks are.
Yeah.
Like you said, they got different. They got different cartels that branch from the main source.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
Yeah, like umbrella.
Mm-hmm. The predecessor to the Royal Bank of Scotland was a slaving enterprise promoted and maintained by the ruling elites of the United Kingdom. The bank has acknowledged its link to slavery and has updated its archival records. Recently, it amended the disclosures of past slave connections that it had previously lodged with the Chicago authorities. And they go and see Esau trying to cover his tracks, man. But the thing about it is, Most High, Yahweh Shem Shai, has seen everything that these devils have done throughout history, man.
Yeah, you can't pay all the bloodshed with money. You can't pay off your sins with the Most High. You can't pay off that debt. You still climbing your debt chart.
Mm-hmm.
You still running that tab up, Esau. And you're going to get nuclear destruction from all the atrocities that you have done, and you're going to get slavery.
Mm-hmm.
I got a scripture too.
Okay.
This is Joel chapter 3, verse, I want to say verse 3. And they have, well, I'm starting at verse 2. I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat, and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. And that's talking about going over there, what? In the valley of judgment, over there in the Middle East, the so-called Middle East, because it's not the Middle East, it's over there in the East.
Mm-hmm.
So y'all gonna be over there, y'all setting up the battle of Armageddon over there.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. Really, if I can say, really, it's the Most High using them to set up the battle of Armageddon.
Yeah, with all that money that they got from slavery.
That's crazy.
Yeah. and that's pursuant to Job chapter 20.
Mm-hmm.
When he should think to fill his belly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Esau, he profit off these wars too as well.
That's right.
The Bacon family, the Rothschilds. If it ain't no blood in the street or debt, then they ain't miserable, man. Because then the earth will go back into peace. If it ain't no more wars,
Yep.
I'm gonna continue. It says, and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. Verse 3, and they have cast lots for my people, and have given a boy for an harlot, and sold a girl for wine, that they might drink. And that's what they did in Roots and stuff like that. They sold us those slave auctions.
Yeah. But you got this devil has the nerve, you know, to talk about human sex trafficking when he's the one that he's the original human slave trafficker, man.
The original.
To the transatlantic slave trade. But now you go like to a university or a school and they'll have this sign that says if you see any reports of human trafficking, please let us know. Esau, you're the main one, man. Mm-hmm. We're bringing you to court, man. And I got one if you don't mind.
Come on, go ahead.
This is Obadiah 1:6. How are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? It's through the prophets, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemel Shai. Articles like this, you know, we take these articles and we run away with it, man. Because Esau, you're on trial, man.
Yep.
All right, you're at the end of your so-called kingdom. You're at the end of your so-called civilization, man. And all the dirt has been dug up on you, man.
Yeah.
All right, it's plain to see in 2019 that this man is a devil, man. You know.
Even with Esau trying to like I said in this article, Esau's trying to go back and watch the records. Mm-hmm. But like the brother said, man, you can't. What you've done is you've already done what you've done, man. Yeah. All right, and like the brother said, Esau, you on trial, man. You know.
Yep.
But
I still got the verse 4. Then I'm gonna give it back to you. You got a word?
I do have a word. Going into in that second verse when it says that the Most High will plead with them for His people. All right, that word for plead is shapat. Mm-hmm. It's shapat, and it says to judge, govern, vindicate, or punish. So the Most High, like the brother said, we're through us being the mouthpiece of the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, we bring up these charges of all the wickedness that Esau has done to our people and to the world and in the world over time, over this course of history. And it's going to come a day that Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai is going to bring Esau and all these heathens together to ultimately judge not just the heathens, but more specifically judge these Edomites and vindicate us, all right, and punish them, okay, for all the atrocities they've done to our people, man. All right, and we're going to we're focusing more so on the transatlantic slave trade at this moment, but also going to all the atrocities that continue after the transatlantic slave trade to the entirety of our nations, man. The so-called Native Americans and so-called Reubenites, the so-called West Indians, the so-called Central and South Americans, man. Yep. All right, Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai is going to plead or govern and vindicate us and punish these heathens, man. Yeah, and primarily these Edomites.
Like my fault. That was a good point that you made, because we don't have no king. We don't have no prime minister to go to the UN and the summit meetings, and G20 meetings, and Bilderberg meetings to represent us. Right.
And the beautiful thing about it, we don't need that.
Yeah, we don't need that. Yeah.
Go ahead, bro.
Like you said, you went to that word plead. That's what the Lord doing for us. Mm-hmm. We don't need to go to the meetings, because you Edomites going back to your judgment, you're not going to be saved. Why? Because you're in your salvation right now. You got President Trump going over there meeting with the Queen of England and trying to build a wall. You got your savior over here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what do they need to be saved from?
And shalom to you, Akim.
Hey, shalom to you, Akim, man. Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai Brakatham.
Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Brakatham.
Shalom.
I'm going to read this last verse and you get back to the article. Verse 4, yea, and what have ye to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon, and all the coast of Palestine? Will ye render me a recompense? And if ye recompense me, all you goddamn other heathen nations try to make it like you Christian, coming to this Christianity doctrine. Yo, you whack and you're off, man. Mm-hmm. Just like that pastor raised this damn nigga Hamite from the coffin. Yo, you people out there done, man.
Finished, man.
You can't be saved through the spirit of Yahweh Hashem Shai.
That's right.
Well, look what's happening going on in New Zealand, man. These heathens are getting it, man. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they had the Ethiopian plane crash. So the Lord is judging you heathens, man, day in and day out, man.
Yeah, this article was going off too, talking about Ethiopian people now.
But we can cut through all that, man. We have a level of understanding, because we understand that the Holy Scriptures, there's no book that is mate, man. So we can filter these type of articles through the Spirit and the Scriptures and understand where it goes off on.
Yeah, you're right. None should want to make. Yeah, you can't add to this book. This book is already sealed. You can't.
That's
Yeah,
excellent point.
yeah, it's authentic.
Yeah.
you can't duplicate this book.
Mm-mm.
I'm gonna read the rest of the
Come.
scripture. And if ye recompense me, swiftly and speedily will I return your recompense upon your own head. Let's go for you Edomites too.
Yep.
Talking about, yeah, we apologize. We're gonna throw this $5 million to y'all. Nah, man. Dave Chappelle showed a show about if you give Negroes reparation and what they'll do. He had Jake with a big ass cigarette truck and
Cigarette truck.
Yeah, Jake getting damn Newports and balling out.
I'm rich, bitch.
Yeah. And yo, we don't need that. The Lord said, yo, by blood, yo. He said he recompense upon you your own head.
Mm-hmm.
Because ye have taken my silver and my gold with the Lord's treasure.
Yep.
And have carried into your temples my goodly pleasant things. The children of also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have you sold to the Grecians. That's what the slave trade was about. You Hamites, you Arabs doing the Atlantic slave trade. This is talking about the Atlantic slave trade. You're not even going into the Arab slave trade.
Slave trade. Yeah.
That's what that's the dark market. You know what I'm saying? The dark internet back then. You know what I'm saying? Y'all selling us into these lots with these damn heathens, man. These Edomites. And you damn devils, you funded this slave trade too.
Yeah, and primarily you Amalekites, man.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
so-called Jews.
Yeah.
Because even all these banking institutions, they're run by who? By you so-called Jews, man.
Yep. Yeah, and you Grecians, and it goes to show that this book is on point because you damn so-called damn white people, you talking about, oh yeah, the civilization started with the Greeks. It didn't start with you damn heathens, man. Matter of fact, we taught you. We taught you how to be civilized. It says, and that's a whole nother segue too. That ye might remove them far from their border. Yeah, you moved us far from our border. Starting with Rome, the Roman invasion. That's why we had to move into West Africa and certain parts of the East Asian Minor and Europe.
Yeah.
And over here in that was the Syrian Empire with the Northern Kingdom. But still though, our people was moved away from our homeland, and the Lord's gonna pay you back for that. You got that.
I'm kind of just power through it so we can get the article in. Continuing on, it says New York Life Insurance Company in 2002 donated documents about the insurance it sold to slave owners in the 1840s to a New York library. It also backed educational efforts. Lehman Brothers, the trillion-dollar bank, which was so big as to be beyond failure, going back to too big to fail. Lehman Brothers, the investment bank, whose fall triggered the global financial crisis. Yes, Lehman Brothers was started off as a brotherhood of slave dealers and their profiteers. Lehman made so much money on trading and speculating on the miseries and death of Israelite peoples that they became richer than Croesus, yet they failed. On the eve of the assumption of the presidency by Obama, in 2005, Lehman had apologized for his predecessor's links to slavery. Matter of fact, I think it's a precept off the Common Board that goes beautifully with this point right here. Brother Thumb, put it on there. Because this article going to how Lehman Brothers, the time of at the end of the administration of Bush, the second Bush, they failed, man, and they had to pretty much bail them out. Okay, James 5:1, and throughout for you, I keep on the Common Board, and throughout dropping these precepts on the Common Board. This is James 5:1. Go to now, ye rich men, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you. Your riches are corrupted, and your garments moth-eaten. Your gold and silver is cankered, and the rust of them shall be a witness against you. All right, so the rust of these so-called riches that these Edomites have built up is witnessing against them.
Yep.
It's failing them because it's built off the destruction, all right, and miseries of our people. All right, so their monetary systems, all right, these Federal Reserve banks, these high levels of debt that these Edomite corporations are accruing, That's Yahweh Shemi Yahushua bringing the prophecy to pass of it's failing because it's witnessing against them and it's showing them that they're on their downfall, man.
And it goes to show too that your blessing that you got by the sword, the Lord said you was gonna get out of that power seat after that. After you receive your blessing.
I'm gonna go back in there and read 2 more verses. This is James 5:3 again. Your gold and silver is cankered,
Oh yeah, that's a good scripture.
and the rest of them shall be a witness against you, and shall eat your flesh as it were fire. Ye have heaped treasure together for the last days. Verse 4. Behold, the hire of the laborers which have reaped down your fields,
Which is us.
which is of you kept back by fraud, crieth, and the cries of them which have reaped are entered into the ears.
Lord of Sabaoth.
Yeah, you got cut off. So grab that 5th verse, James 5, because got cut off.
Okay.
James
5 and 5.
5 and 4.
5 and 4.
Come.
Okay. James chapter 5 and 4 again. Behold, the hire of the laborers who reap down your fields, which is of you kept back by fraud, crieth, and the cries of them which have reaped are entered into the ears of the Lord of Sabaoth.
So the Most High is hearing us, man. These cries, this is the importance of brothers just continuing on this path, man. All right, these cries, these signs, these tears, the Most High Yahweh Shem Yahushua is witnessing everything that we're going through, man.
Yeah.
All right, and he's and through the angels are relaying the message and report, our prayers, our supplications, when we fast, when we link up, everything. The Most High is hearing this, man. All right, and that's a continuation, like the brother said. You had that Ethiopian plane crash. That's spiritual too, because it's trying to say they're Ethiopians, but it was really Israelites.
Yep.
The Ethiopian plane crash, that person, that guy going into that mosque in New Zealand and killing like 40 people, it's showing that Yahweh Shem Yahushua is judging these heathens and uplifting us in the spirit.
Yeah.
That's all I had.
God.
Continue on in the article. Bank of America, another one of those giants of Wall Street financiers, was built on the blood and sweat of Israelite people in Africa, as well as in North and South America. Bank of America recently offered its regrets for any actions its predecessors might have taken to support or tolerate slavery.
Now, why did they aim for us? Why they ain't do the Chinese, so-called Chinese man like that? Why? Because it was prophesied.
Yep.
We the chosen people, man. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68. But you got it.
Con. Wachovia Bank, another ubiquitous Wall Street investment bank, is another one of those legatees, I don't know what that word means, of slave trading and profiteering. Wachovia Bank has also apologized for its predecessors having owned and profited from slaves. It set up a program offering $1 billion in loans for black car dealerships. They still trying to profit. This is a roundabout way to still profit.
Either way it go, the money go right back to them. You know?
That's all. I'm almost done. Yale University, one of the leading centers of intellectual and academic activities, was profiting from slave activities. Yale University.
We built the university too. All them prestigious universities. You can read that in the book of Ebony and Ivy.
Yeah,
that was written by Jake too.
Yeah, Apostles went there years ago. Break that down.
Yep. And all the runners, the rulers, the influential people come out of there. Such as Kerry, he ran for president. Bush, Dick Cheney. Even though he flopped out of that school, Dick Cheney. You see that in the movie Vice.
Yeah, a lot of these Edomites that's in higher positions are just two-time losers that failed school, sniff coat, ditched class, and spent money, and then they got put in positions to where people think they're just so prestigious and noble. No, man. You got thrown into that position, man.
Right.
I'm going to finish the article. I didn't get here. Precept. In October 2001, some of the students pointed out its past links with slavery. The university acknowledged its slave trading and profiteering linkage, but noted that it had already founded the Gilder Lehman Center for the Study of Slavery. What the fuck is that going to do?
What's that going to do?
What's it going to do? And then all they're going to do is push lies and say that we're Hamitic.
Yeah.
Right.
Or they'll probably say that what's the new lie now that we came over here as workers?
Yeah,
Some-
Indentured servants. That's a fucking lie, man. Brown University has set up a commission to look into links with slavery and how it should make amends. In 2006, Tony Blair, Prime Minister, expressed deep sorrow for the UK's role in the slave trade. In spring of '09, the U.S. Senate unanimously passed a resolution apologizing for slavery and segregation.
Oh,
That's it.
Right.
I got a scripture.
Yeah.
This is Micah chapter 6, verse, I'm going to go to 10 and 11. Are there yet the treasures of wickedness in the house of the wicked, and the scant measure that is abominable? Shall I count them pure with the wicked balances and with the bag of deceitful weight? So this scant measure are these dollar bills that Esau's trying to throw at Jake. And we all know real money is gold, silver, land, and cattle, according, I think it's Genesis.
Genesis.
Yeah, in Genesis it talks about the real money. So this money is fake, man. They put money out of thin air, and they just throwing it at Jake. Yeah, we sorry, man.
Right.
When it's not even real money, man.
Yeah, it's not. The Federal Reserve notes is not real money.
Yeah, then you brothers go there and then you can get a bag full of shredded up
money.
dollars. You niggas is killing people over $100 bills, and they shredding up billions of dollars at the Federal Reserve. There's 12 branches, right?
Right.
12 branches of the Federal Reserve throughout the country.
Yeah, one here in Atlanta.
And then this devil just throws money at you that he can just easily shred up in a day's period. All right, it goes to show you how fake the money is here, man. It's monopoly money, man.
Yeah. How careless he is about your life.
Yeah.
All of a sudden now, after you hung and went buck break, all the madness, feed us pork, took our heritage, and you just apologize?
Yeah.
And you Jake eat it up too.
Eat it up, man.
Can I go to verse 12?
Go ahead.
All right, verse 12. For the rich men thereof are full of violence, and the inhabitants thereof have spoken lies, and their tongue is deceitful in their mouth. That's talking about, you Edomites, man. And when this scripture comes to mind, it thinks about the so-called Jews who financed the slave trade, man. They're full of violence, man. And they later on, after they so-called apologize, when Esau has an apology, he really don't mean it. When he says the N-word or he does some type of racial slur, he really don't mean it. So these Edomites are just full of lies, man. They keep coming up with more lies, and on top of that, so it's really no justice until the Lord makes His move, man. For you Jakes, man.
I got a verse. This is Sirach chapter 12, verse 10. Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusted, so is his wickedness. So his wickedness is gonna show. Verse 11, though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him. Like this nigga Bill Gates. Just name one of them.
Right.
Devil. He simply went on TED and they got the TED show.
TED Talks.
Yeah, TED Talks throughout it.
Come.
And he was like, yo, we can depopulate the world by this percentage.
And then he says it like,
He said it like it's good.
right. That's what I say.
Yeah.
Like Esau be putting this demonic, wicked shit out, and because he can say it in a smooth way and it sounds so complex and complicated, like people be eating it up. Like nigga, he just talked about killing millions and billions of people.
Right. And people are just eating and drinking and just chilling.
And
Like
then
somebody should have called the police on that nigga,
they
man.
get these devils these awards, man. That's what's the funny thing about it. They get these humanitarian awards when they're trying to kill humanity, man. That makes no
Purple
sense,
Heart.
man. Yeah, all these wars and shit.
Yo, Esau is wicked, man. And this world is sleep too.
Yeah.
Reading on, it says, yet take good heed and beware of him, and thou should be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass, clear as day. And thou should know that his rust had not been altogether wiped away.
Yeah, this is the same man who put iron on your wrist and on your neck and on your ankles, who raped your woman, who raped your son, who sold your daughter to another plantation, who separated your family, gave you Jim Crow laws, so-called civil rights. This man's demeanor has not changed at all, man. His mentality toward you has not changed in 2019. But you Negroes, all right, because this is who slavery affected. you so-called Negroes, West Indians and Haitians, man. He gives you some muffins at the job and everything is cool, man. Or he gives you
Piece
some,
of pork on it.
yeah, piece of pork on or a few extra Federal Reserve notes, which have been deemed fake. Everything's all right with this guy now. No, this is the same devil who put you into slavery, man, who has a hatred for you, man.
That's why 2/3 has got to get put down, man.
That's right.
You know, 2/3 gonna get put down according to prophecy. And this word as it stands right now, is really just for the elect, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, more than that.
Oh no, that was it on that.
You might got anything else?
I got a switch.
Yeah, bro, I got something too. I'll go ahead and bring it up. This is Isaiah chapter 1. I'm gonna start at verse 24.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore saith Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, the Most High of hosts, the Mighty One of Israel. I will ease me of mine adversaries and avenge me of mine enemies. And I will turn my hand upon thee and purely purge away the dross and take away all thy tin. And I will restore thy judges as at the first and thy counselors as at the beginning. Afterward thou shalt be called the city of righteousness, the faithful city. And that's what's happening, man, because like brothers going into the 2/3, all right, of our people. Here it is, Esau and for hundreds of years whooped our ass, all right, and you know done all types of wickedness and atrocities to us as a people. But our people, because they lack the spiritual discernment, they lack the access to the spirit and really access to Yahweh Shem Yahushai, they're gonna have to just go ahead and get destroyed. All right. And there's according to prophecy, there's a remnant that's left of our people, and starting with the 144,000, Lord willing, we are of that number. We are a part of those men. Are going to be established as judges of our people, man. And it's beginning now because Jake can't understand that the same bank the same bank that their current employer deposits their check into is the same bank that were profiting off of them in past lives in slavery.
Yeah.
You know, so it's a matter of, like we spoke about earlier. It's a matter of us understanding that our main audience is each other and eventually the 1/3. Okay, and Lord willing, we're gonna be established as the judges and kings and priests of our nation, man. And that's according to biblical prophecy. All right, because like we spoke about, the heathens and most primarily the Edomites, they're not going to get away with this, man. You know, this is a short article that we can kind of read and go through now, but this article, deeper inside this article, contains a lot of pain and oppression and just death and misery for our people physically, but also for our people spiritually, man. Yeah. And Yahweh Shem Yahushai, like we spoke about, is going to recompense Esau for all that pain, man.
Yeah. I got a scripture. This is Hosea chapter 1 verse 10. Because when we came over here, you see the movie of Roots.
Mm-hmm.
Said, what's your name, boy? He said, Gunther. Really he spoke in Hebrew.
Mm-hmm.
But then he's like, no, your name Tobit.
Yeah.
And that's what he did. So through that pass, all the way up to now you got Jake calling themselves Octavius, you know, Roman names, or Quintavious, Gigi, Lil Ray Ray. And these people looking like, look, they're not the sons of the Heavenly Father. They're not the sons of God, speaking verbatim.
Mm-hmm.
But the scripture proves otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
This is Hosea chapter 1 verse 10. Yet the number of the children of Israel should be as the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured nor numbered. So Esau talking about we the minorities, we outweigh this nigga.
Yeah.
And it should come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, ye are not my people, there should be said unto them, ye are the sons of the living power.
Woo!
Cut to the point.
Yeah, man. And that also goes to show you that Esau is in big trouble, man. All right, because right now, even though you know we're tuned into the social network of Israel, so to speak, but there's going to be so many more Jake that get on this train, man.
Yeah.
And when that train is already moving, when that train get moving more and more, and pick up more and more speed, and our people really begin to wake up more and more, and you get the confusion of face come in, and then we all band together, and Esau really begins to see the power and solidarity of of our people spread across the four corners, he gonna be spiritually shitting his pants,
Yeah,
man.
that's
Yeah,
gonna
he already shit this thing. He ain't want this truth to come out.
Mm-mm.
That's why they say that they wish the internet was never created.
Yep.
That's right.
Because the truth is coming out by. But that's all I got.
All right, man.
I'm gonna close out on this one.
Come on.
All right, this is it's about 4 scriptures. This is Psalms chapter 9. I'm gonna start at verse 16.
Mm-hmm.
The Lord is known by the judgment which he executeth. The wicked is snared in the work of his own hands. Higgaion Salah. The wicked shall be turned into hell, and all the nations that forgot the Most High. Verse 18, for the needy shall not always be forgotten, the expectation of the poor shall not perish forever. So the Lord is not going to forget what happened to us, man. You know, like the brother Zakaria put on the comment board, the Lord is hearing our cries and lamentations, man.
That's right.
All right, verse 8:19. Arise, O Yahweh, let not man prevail, let the heathen be judged in thy sight.
Woo.
So that goes to show you that the Most High doesn't love everybody, and the heathens are going to pay for what they did. These heathen nations that banded up together, according to Psalms 83, to put us away, to make the name of Israel a forgotten name. All right, and verse 20, that just to end on out, it says, "Put them in fear, O Yahweh, that the nations may know themselves to be but men." Salah. So all you are just slaves at the end of the day, man. All right, you're not over us. We're just going through a little affliction for a little time, but ultimately, the true reparations, the true big payback, as James Brown would say, is when you other nations go into slavery, namely Esau and the hardcore slavery. That's going to be the ultimate reparations and the big paybacks. And then, you know, the scriptures say we'll meditate terror, according to Isaiah 33. We're going to have a whole eternity. We're going to have a whole 1,000 years, to meditate terror on you, Esau, and make our own so-called banks after conquering you, man.
Yeah.
All right.
And it's gonna be with real money,
Yeah, real money.
not no IOU notes. Esau just rolled the paper like that. But yeah, that's it on that. All right, so with that, we're gonna give all praise and honor and glory to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Kakadash.
double honors to the apostles, the elders, the great millstone, Quam, the elect. Shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom, Akim.